Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rati, have you finished one round? Okay, I will do it. Or meanwhile, you can continue your chanting, and then I will start with Jaya Radha Madhava, and then by the time you will become settled.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Let's start with Srila Prabhupada Pranam. Namo Vishnu Padaya,
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya,
Krishna Prestaya Bhutale,
Krishna Prestaya Putale
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swaminiti Namine
Swamin Itinamine
Namaste Saraswate Deve
Namaste Saraswate Deve
Gauravani Pracharine
Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesa Shunyavadi
Nirvisesa Suva
Shunyavadi
Sanyavadi
Paschatya Deshatarine
Pasyaja Desya Tarine
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
If you're with book, you can also see the prayer for the in the introduction page. If you are with book. Om Jnanatirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manavisam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dalati Shabadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utabadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavancha Sri Rupam Sagradatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savitam Parigana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Paransagana Lalita Sri Visakanatamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we continue our reading on Bhagavad Gita as it is now chapter 2 text number 48. Where is it possible to sorry. Okay, is it the text visible now?
Yes.
Okay. It's a bit bigger. Yogastha kuru karmani
Yogastas Guru Karmani
sangam tyaktva dhananjaya
Sangam Twang Twa Tanam Jaya
sangam tyaktva dhananjaya
Sangam Twa Danam Jaya
siddhya siddhya samubhutva
Sidya Sidyos Samubhutya
siddhya siddhya samubhutva
Sidya Sidyos Simubhutva
samatvam yoga uchate
Samat Tvam Yoga Udyate
Yogastha kuru karmani
Yogasta Guru Karmani
sangam tyaktva dhananjaya
Sakam Twa Danam Jaya
siddhya siddhya samubhutva
Siya Sisyos Samubhutya
Samatvam yoga uchate.
Samatvam yoga udyate.
Yeah, please, your turn.
Yoga tva guru karmani.
Jagatam kuru karmani.
Sagam tva dananjaya.
Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya.
Sidya sidyo samubhutva.
Vidya siddhyo samo bhutva.
Samatvam yoga usyate.
Samatvam yoga uchate. Mataji, you also want to read? Okay. Are you still there? Okay, otherwise we continue. Synonym, word by word translation. Yogastaha, equipoised. Kuru, perform.
Guru
Karmani,
perform karmani.
your duties.
Your
Sangam,
duty. Okay.
tyaktva, giving up.
Twa giving up.
Dhananjaya, O Arjuna.
Danajaya O Arjuna.
Siddhya siddhyoho, in success or failure.
Sidyo in success and failure.
Samaha, equipoised.
Samahas equipoise.
Bhutva, becoming.
Bhutva becoming.
Samatvam, equanimity.
Samatvam equanimity.
Yogaha yoga uchyate is called yogaha yoga.
Yoga
Uchyate.
Usyate is called.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charan Ravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Can you repeat?
Perform your duty equipoise, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga.
Purport. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. From Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 13, text 80. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such, he is participating in the Varnasrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnasrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnasrama Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. Okay. So we also can read this. Actually, this is one book. One book by Borijan Prabhu. Is Surrender Unto Me. Also, we can read. This is also a very nice book to explain this Bhagavad Gita. For this text, especially for this text, we can also read. To perform your duty, occupy, or Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure, such equanimity is called yoga. When one works and is attached to the fruits of such work, he is performing karma yoga. The attachment is the perfected when he offers the fruit of his work to Krishna. Therefore, Krishna tells Arjuna not to renounce work, but to renounce the fruits of work. The next verse should be noted because it is connected to the question Arjuna will ask Krishna at the opening of chapter 3. Hare Krishna. So here is still explaining about Lord Krishna asking Arjuna to act without attached to the result, or the activities. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada also explained here about yoga and giving here the description of what is yoga. We actually concentrate our mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. So that is the description of yoga by Srila Prabhupada here. Concentrate our mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. So as we know that we have actually 11 senses. What are they? 11 senses?
Smell, right?
Yeah, senses. Senses.
Touch.
Yeah.
The
No,
sense.
that is the object of the senses. Senses mean what we have in our body. Yeah. We have 11 senses. So there are 5 working senses and 5 sensory. What is that we call? We can say sensory senses. I mean that something that we can catch something from outside. Like there's also 5 working senses, 5 sensory senses, and then another one is mind. So there's 11. The working senses is hand, leg, and etc. and etc. And then also another, this called pancha karmendriya and then pancha budendriya. Pancha budendriya also we call like that. So another 5 is like our eyes to see, and then our nose to smell something. Yeah, that you mentioned is the object of the senses, but the senses is like our eyes, our skin, tongue, ear. That is we call 5 senses to get, the perception to see something or to get information about something. And then working senses mean karmendriya, like our hand, legs, etc. And mind is also considered one of them, and it is considered Rajendriya, Raja Indriya. Raja means king, Indriya in the senses. This is like the king of the senses. Why? Because it is actually leading all other senses. And mind is very strong. Mind is very strong, and then it's mentioned can move very fast, even faster than the velocity of the light. If we study in the physics, the velocity of the light is 2 times 10 exponent, like, oh, I forgot. It's very fast. You know, in 1 second can go very far. But even if it is compared to that, our mind is even is faster. So this is called Rajendriya. And mind, Rajendriya, Raja Indriya, Rajendriya. So mind is sometimes called Rajendriya. It's coming from Raja Indriya. Raja means king. Indriya is the senses. So this is like the king of the senses. And Lord Krishna will also explain later on in another part, actually, that mind can be our enemy and also can be our dear friend. It's depend on us. Yeah, mind can be very strong friend and also can be very strong enemy for us. And then how that the same thing can become, yeah, possible. Is actually when we can control our mind, then it will be our dear friend. And then if we're not able to control the mind, it will be always our worst enemy. Like also Srila Prabhupada mentioned here in the description is that controlling ever disturbing senses, you know. So like that, because mind, there is 3 activities of the mind is thinking, feeling, and willing. So if the mind thinks something, you know, and then we'll feel something, and then we'll willing, something like that. And then after that process coming on in the mind, and then the mind start telling to different senses to do. For example, we cook very, very nice, and then, oh, this might be very nice thing. So I start to smell it. So giving order to the nose, you know, to person, you know, I don't know how to hurt like that, and then, and also maybe thinking also, oh, maybe that is very nice, then let me taste, and then start ordering to the tongue, also ordering to our hand to take the food that we cook, and then after that we start putting into our mouth, and then the tongue or the tasting like that. So this is mind. The position of the mind is very important here, because it is like a processor. You know, in the computer is like CPU. It's like CPU.
Yeah.
It's like CPU is central processing unit. So everything what we do is starting from the mind. So it's like CPUs. Yeah, one devotee says, give also this analogy that this is like a CPU, central processing unit. So
Sorry.
central processing unit. You can search it in Google if you don't. Right? Central processing unit. This is part of computer, but it's like a brain of the computer. And then also the mind also getting input from many things. What is perceptory senses, like our eyes, our ear, our tongue. That is also this kind of input. For example, we see, oh, this is a nice flower, for example. Oh, I like it, for example. It's coming from the eyes first. See, oh, this is flower is nice. So then I might need to grow it in my garden, for example, and then start telling, thinking, feeling, and then we start acting. Oh, maybe we want to ask some seedling of this flower, and then we grow in our garden like that. So it's like a central processing unit. So what we do is coming first in the mind. So that's why it's very important to control the mind. This is not easy, but it is possible. It is possible. Yeah, to concentrate our mind upon the Supreme. And here, yoga means concentrating our mind into the Supreme. It's not meditating unto void. Void means zone. That's why Srila Prabhupada, in the pranam of Srila Prabhupada, Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presabhutala Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi. Sunya means void. There is a teaching about void, that everything will become nihil, become nil or nihilistic, nihilism. So also meditation is not meditating unto the void. Actually, Srila Prabhupada in another part used to explain that actually from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the authentic one about yoga is actually also meditating under the sutra. I mean, to meditate unto Paramatma or super soul. It's not meditating unto void. So, yeah, yoga here is very broad. Means to concentrate mind unto the Supreme by controlling ever disturbing senses. We, as the soul, have this nature of active. Yeah, and our senses want to do something like that. So actually, by controlling the senses, actually, when we engage in devotional service, we can control, yeah, our senses. It means that it's still doing something, but if it is performed as the service to the Lord, then it will be purified. You know, because it is mentioned that Nat Tevaham Jatunasam Natam Nimi Janandipaham. Yeah, and also it's mentioned also that we are not able to be, idle even for a moment. Yeah, we're not able to be idle actually. Idle means not doing anything. It's always active. Actually, that's the nature. The nature of the soul is like that. So that's why we are very active. So that is the meaning of yoga given by Prabhupada here. That also what we are doing is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mantra. Manah Trayate iti mantra. The description in the Vedic dictionary. Manah Trayate iti mantra. The description of mantra. Manah Trayate. Manah means mind. Trayate means to control or to liberate. So Manah Trayate iti mantra means that. Wait 1 minute. I have to participant. Silence, Andre. Okay. So Manah Trayate iti mantra in description in the Vedic dictionary. So mantra means something that we can control our mind. Yeah, mana, control the mind. Mana Trayate. That is mantra. And actually, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is also can control actually to control our mind, because our mind is always flickering. It's always flickering. Arjuna mentioned Arjuna is very great personality, and he is actually eternal associate of Lord Krishna himself. But he himself mentioned that it is very difficult to conquer the mind. It is very difficult to control the mind. he have an analogy that even it's more difficult to control the wind from blowing. More difficult. We even don't have that capability how to stop the wind from blowing. We're not able to do that. Arjuna can do that actually because he has certain weapon that he can control the wind as his weapon. We don't have that capability. And Arjuna himself, who had that capability to stop the wind from blowing by his weapon, still he said that it is more difficult to control the mind. And we ourselves also experiencing all this. I experience almost every time also. But actually by this mantra, we can control the mind. So it is very important to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra because this mantra of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is actually very special because it is non-different to Lord Krishna. As we already discussed also earlier, I think 2 months ago, when we was still having this chanting forum, maybe Rati was not there, but Chailim, do you remember that we was discussing this about Hare Krishna Mahamantra? That is non-different to Lord Krishna. Yeah. So actually, by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, actually we directly associate with the Lord, directly associating with the Lord, because the Lord is really coming. So that's why it is very important that we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with attentive. Yeah. Because actually we are inviting. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra means we are calling to the Lord. And when we are calling to the Lord, He is really come. He really come. And then it's like when we invite somebody and then they really come. So we have to, meet them attentively. We put our attention. So the same way when we are chanting, well, we should actually attentive. We try to be attentive. It means that we try to hear what we chant. It is very important. Maybe our mind will be going here, roaming here and there. That's okay. We focus to the sound. And by practice, actually, after some time, we can feel happiness. And then we will want to chant more and more like that. And then, gradually, by associating with Lord Krishna in the form of his name, so actually it can purify us gradually actually. So that is actually yoga that Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. And in this age of Kali, it's mentioned it is all other process for self-realization is very, very difficult and is not possible. For example, Astanga Yoga is not for this age. Yeah, it's not for this age. Astanga Yoga is mentioned as like for the previous age in Satya Yoga, when people are still in the mood of goodness and the environment is very good, still very, it's very, what we call it, it's supporting, it's supporting our, the environment is suitable for such kind of thing, such kind of process, and the lifespans of the persons that time is very long as well. Now here in this age of Kali Yuga, we are having very short lifespan, not even, it's less than 100 years, because of a lot of things, degradation of things, our not good eating habit and different things is also actually decreasing our lifespan in this age of Kali. Also mind disturbances and a lot of things in modern days, a lot of things actually disturbing. Yeah. So Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam eva kevalam, kalau nasti vanasti gatir anyata. So actually, in this age of Kali, the process for real self-realization is by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Do you have any question to this point? We will continue to discuss this. If anybody have question,
no, I don't have question.
Okay, so now we can continue this. The following of Krishna, this section is really so here, Lord Krishna want Arjuna to act, to fight, because he is a Kshatriya. And here is very important, that we are performing our duty according to our nature. We're performing our duty according to our nature. We have also discussed earlier that there is the system, social system in the Sanatan Dharma, that is called Varnasrama Dharma. Do you remember all those division? 4 social division and then 4 spiritual division. What are they? Anybody remember?
What can you repeat the question?
4 social division in the society.
Division.
Brahmana, like that.
Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya. Oh, I don't remember how to say.
Okay, maybe you don't remember the term, but you remember like what they do usually, what their occupation is, if you remember. Brahmana, Kshatriya is like administrator, and then one who is mercantile class. Do you remember?
Yeah, there is other 2. One is like kind of farmer, like people who support.
One who is producing, so it's just
producing.
Mercantile class. So it's Vaishya. And the activities is actually Krishi, Goraksha, Vanija. That is the activities of the Vaishya. And then also there is a Sudra as a helper. And then another division is spiritual division, that one may be Brahmachari, student life, Grihastha, and the family life, and then Vanaprastha. What is that? Retired life, and then the last one is sannyasa, or the renounced order of life. Not every one of the varna having the same, but for example, for the Sudra, you should only have, they don't even have a brahmachari ashram, they direct to the grihastha ashram. The Brahmana, they can actually brahmachari, and the four of the, and then for the king, for the kshatriya, for example, is usually come unto vanaprastha, that's all. And for the Vaishya, they, I don't know, if I forgot, I have to see again, I forgot about this. Maybe it's only to grihastha or also vanaprastha, I think, something like that. So anyhow, all those social system is actually created by the Lord himself. Chatur Varnam Maya Sristam Guna Karma Vibhagasa. So it's given by, it's actually created by the Lord himself. Even if we refer to the Shruti or the Samhita, actually it's also mentioned over there. In Purusha Sutta is mentioned actually that this division, social division, actually is created by the Lord. It manifested from the universal form of the Lord. So from his head appear, appear the Brahmana class or Brahmana division, Brahmana Varna, and from his hand manifest the Kshatriya, administrative class. So this social system is actually created by Lord Krishna himself, and Srila Prabhupada mentioned actually that only by actually organize the society in that way, that actually will be success. And Krishna in the center, as Krishna in the center, actually. Why? Because Varnasrama Dharma is actually the purpose here, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the Vishnu Purana, that actually is in order to satisfy Lord Krishna. So that's why the term Varnasrama Dharma, the social division, actually is also to connect to Krishna. And by performing such a duties in Varnasrama Dharma, actually we also satisfy Lord Vishnu. Yagya by Vishnu. So the whole aim is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. Yagya by Vishnu. And also in Bhagavatam, there is also a verse mentioning about this, that actually Varnasrama Purusheta, woman. So it's mentioned that actually the aim of performing Varnasrama Dharma is for the satisfaction of the Lord. And also, here Prabhupada mentioned very strongly, no one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada also here mentioned that one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnasrama Dharma without satisfying Krishna. So Varnasrama Dharma should be practiced as Daiva Varnasrama. Daiva means in relation to Krishna. It's not just a religious social system without God center or without centering to Krishna. Okay, so if you have any question, you can, or doubt or any comment, you can express it now. Otherwise, we will continue a little bit to read next verse. In this part is still discussing about this. Lord Krishna suggests Arjuna to act without attachment to the result. Also, like Srila Prabhupada mentioned here actually about detachment. Detachment should be also be done in relation with Krishna as well, because we not just reject this material world. Maybe there is a people who just reject everything, but actually the real renunciation actually is that actually surrendering everything to Lord Krishna. For example, sometimes there's something that we have to deal with, and then if we are using it for the service to Krishna, then it's actually become Krishna's, become spiritualized. But in modern society, actually, it's very difficult for us, because most of the time, material things that are coming into us or being given by Krishna to us is mostly, deluding us. It's not because we are not able to use it properly, because we are not able to, we have the tendency that when we are given something by Lord Krishna, that we are forgetting that it's actually for the satisfaction of Krishna. If you don't have any questions, so we will read the next verse.
Okay.
What do you think? Text 49. Durena hyava ram karma buddhiyaga dhananjaya buddhau saranaman vicha kripana palahe tavaha. Translation. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and that in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy fruit of their works are misers. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruit of their work are misers. Quote. One who has actually come to understand one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord gives up all engagement, self-working in Krishna consciousness. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their own work, just to be further entangled in material bondage. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable, because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. Misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquired by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. We can also read here from Surrender Unto Me. This is also a very nice book by one senior devotee in understanding to explain what Prabhupada means here. This is the verse. What fruit does one attain who tries to enjoy the result of his work? Only birth and death. So here is mentioned that, yeah, as mentioned here, that actually kosang bon au ceran, and then it is pious activities or also it's a religious thing, but in the term of eternality, is actually it is just bringing us to the birth and death. If we have a lot of pious activities, but we are not connecting to the Lord, we're not without offering it to the Lord, it will bind us. Maybe we will have to take birth in the heavenly planet, in the Kanla, and then it means that we take birth, and then we have to death again. So like that. Yeah. Only birth and death, actually. This is the conclusions of the Veda. The conclusion of the Veda is that, we actually, if we just, in acting in karma kanda, or we are in a fruitive work, and then we have to suffer birth and death again and again. Only wait, Rati Sankaran. Krishna criticizes fruitive desires and glorifies Buddha Yoga, which Srila Prabhupada translated as devotional service. The living entity should work hard to escape suffering, and if he should not become further entangled in it, Buddha Yoga liberates one, and the effects of its practice are described as follows. So yeah, here Srila Prabhupada is explaining here actually. Originally, we are actually, our constitutional position is the servitor of the Lord. So if in this life of human being, it is the chance now we are getting this human form of life to get perfection. And how to get that perfection is actually by surrendering to God, surrendering ourselves to Lord Krishna. And actually, Lord Krishna create this Varnasrama system, like this different occupation, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Actually, in order to us, the platform for us in the social setting, that everybody can actually get perfection with their occupation, actually, to satisfy the Lord. So here also Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Yoga is connecting ourselves with God, with Krishna. Buddhi yoga. So, Srila Prabhupada translates as transcendental loving service to the Lord. You know, transcendental loving service. Transcendental means, you know, it's transcending or it's no longer material. Transcendental means already spiritual. Let's say it's not in the platform of material platform. In the material platform, there is a lost profit and different things. In the transcendental things, is that actually it is spiritual, you know, transcendental loving service with love, without any, you know, from outside things. It's actually loving. It is really from our heart. That's why transcendental loving service with its transcendental and with love to Krishna. So it is very important here. That's why actually there is 9 processes of bhakti or sadhana bhakti. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Yeah, there is among those 9. Even if we practice one of them, perfect in one of them, then it's actually we can get all the result of for all 9 processes. The Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaram, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So we are Sravanam, we are hearing about the Lord. When we're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we also hear about Krishna. You know, we hear about Krishna. We're hearing his name is actually also the process of bhakti. Sravanam, Kirtanam, also when we also together with devotees, we will glorify the Lord either by bhajan, singing, or chanting together. Also, that is also Kirtanam. Sravanam, Kirtanam. Vishnu Smaranam. Smaranam is also remembering the Lord and different thing. So, also actually, when we discuss about Bhagavad Gita like this, also actually is also one time of Sravanam. Actually, we hear from Srila Prabhupada explanation of Srila Prabhupada, and also there is sometime when we visit certain temple, and we hear from senior devotees, from sannyasis also, and other senior devotees, we also actually hearing. Especially in our society, we are following Srila Prabhupada teaching, so we also get benefit actually by regularly discussing, or even by reading by Srila Prabhupada book, also is also getting benefit in this. So here is very strong word by Srila Prabhupada here. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. This is not easy to practice, but by gradual practice it is possible. Srila Prabhupada mentioned possible actually. By abhyasana, by practice is possible. And in another part, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned about miser. Miser means kripana. So there is two kind of people. There is Brahmana, there is a kripana. Brahmana here not refer to the class in the society, but it's referred to, you know, one who acting for the satisfaction of Krishna. This is Brahmana. One who know the value of life is similar to Arya. We also get this term by Srila Prabhupada in the chapter 1. Arya, one who know the values of life, one who cultivates spiritual life, and one who put spiritual life as the goal. The spiritual life as the goal, not only material things. So miser is one, who is not knowing about this thing. Miser is called Kripana. Kripana means miser. Miser means something that actually we can get something higher in this human form of life, but we only want to get something which is actually less important. For example, if you ask somebody, what is your goal of life? There will be a lot of things like, oh, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve this. And then by the judgment of Vedic philosophy, of Vedic teaching, is actually when we really, want to elevate ourselves from this human form of life to get perfection, then actually that is the real thing. And one who is Kripana or miser is not actually cultivating that. It's not cultivating our spiritual life. And everything is only about material things. And here, Srila Prabhupada also giving us instruction that misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. So I mentioned earlier also, we have in our previous discussion about this one ideal example, one of Srila Prabhupada disciple, one who started the a Vedic planetarium, temple of Vedic planetarium, is one of the great grandson of the Ford family. So it's, it's one who produced the car or something like that in America as Ford. So later on, there is this devotee, is one of the descendants of that family, is what is his name? I forgot again. Ambaris Prabhu. So he gave him as example actually that he used his riches for propagation of Krishna consciousness, for propagation of Srila Prabhupada movement. So and here also Srila Prabhupada mentioned, one should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. So successful of Srila Prabhupada here described. That is the description of success here. Okay. So now its time is up. I think we should stop here because there's somebody we might be also having another things to do, and also I have a thing to do. If Chailing, maybe you can chant by yourself.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Rati, we stop here. We'll see you again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your enthusiasm. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare